Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-ivy. Harry Jones is somewhere floating around in the ether. He'll jump in at some point, I suspect. He's working. I'm working too. So listen, what has captured our hearts and minds right now is what is going on in Afghanistan. And, yesterday, Harry and I joked a lot about it, but in all seriousness, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's a mess. Absolute mess. And guess who made this mess? The United States of America. He made this mess. Listen, I'm one of these people that believe we should have been out of Afghanistan. We should have went there. But since we were there, good things happened, right? Or at least what we thought were good things. Women got to go to school. Women got to have businesses. They got a taste of democracy and freedom and independence and blah, 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 blah. But the way we are exiting, not cool. Not cool. Somebody should have said, listen, President, I know you want to get us out of there, but if we leave, this is what's going to happen. And I know somebody knew that these folks wasn't ready for a full-on withdrawal of American troops or any troops beyond theirs. So this is a mess. It's a world mess now. And Pakistan is not going to help us, even though they're feeling the pressure to do something. They not, because they was low-key cheering this fall of the government. China borders them. You know how China gets down. They just want to keep that stuff contained. Don't come on our borders with that mess. We'll recognize the Taliban as the power, not as the government, but as the power, which for me, can you even do that, right? Can you even say they're not the government if they're in power? It's just a mess. And, the ones that are going to be hurt the most in all of this are the women and girls. They're the ones that's going to bear the brunt of this foolishness, this mess. It is outrageous. It is deplorable. It's sad. And it's just unconscionable. So it's the women and the girls, yet again, going to bear the brunt of these poor decisions that men make. Poor ass decisions that men make. So people can have all the diplomacy they want. They could say all this, and yes, everybody's going to point the fingers. They're going to do this. Oh, he did it. He did it. Oh, it was this. It was that. At the end of the day, whoever is sitting in the chair is it. And this is just wrong on a lot of levels. Now, listen, I'm all for getting our troops out of harm's way. Absolutely. But there's got to be ways in which we can extract, remove, take down our troop numbers without causing this kind of foolishness. These Afghan men who are part of this Taliban or who are, I don't give a damn where they're from. They are problematic. And they don't seem to give a damn about human rights, let alone women's rights. They're not on that camp. They're not a part of that. They don't give a damn about human rights. They don't care about man's inhumanity to man. They don't care about any of that. What they care about is whatever the hell they care about. And I'm not so sure I'm clear on what, I don't think they're really clear. A lot of them are just going along to get along, but I'm not so sure they're clear about what it is they want to accomplish with this foolishness. They want to drag their country back to a time before people were even thinking. I don't know what the hell they want. I can't understand why they would want to go back to a way that didn't serve them to begin with. But okay. So now we have this mess on our hands. And I know we had jokes about it yesterday, but it is no laughing matter. I mean, it really isn't. And I just feel like, with all this intellectual capital that we have around the world, this is what we do. Like, I get it. And listen, the president has to stand behind his decisions, I guess. I don't know if he listened to people or not listened to people, but this is a mess. And I don't know if there could have been an easier, better way to draw down troops. I don't know. But damn, could we have at least explored that? Like, that's what intellectual capital is for, the exploration of the hardest of things. Like, you think about how to solve the hardest of things. Not sometimes the hardest things are not, the solution is not the easiest thing or the most expedient thing, but the right thing. Like, if we look for right solutions as opposed to quick and expedient, maybe we wouldn't trash the world the way that we do, but here we are. So I'm just, watching it play out on the news and talking to my friends who are international at best, at most, and noticing, that women were left behind, women and their children were left behind, that when you saw the tarmac, you didn't see any women. When you looked in the plane, if you saw a woman, I mean, this whole situation is just, my heart just goes out to these women and girls, because they're just going to bear the brunt of these poor ass patriarchal decisions. Just poor. And women are always paying the price for the foolishness of men. I don't care if that's not popular. It's what I see and what I understand. And it's just, this could have been handled differently. There's a reason why we have diplomats. There's a reason why we have embassies. There's a reason why we have intel, and you have military. We don't have just military might. We have military intelligence. You understand that? Military intelligence. So conversations had to have been had, or could have been had, or should have been had around what if. They don't sit around the table and say, what if? What if? What if we pull out? What happens? What happens in a day, 2 days, a month, 6 months, a year? What if? Anybody sitting around the table asking what if? There's got to be some folks sitting around the table doing that. How do you make decisions if you don't do the what if? I don't understand any of this. You have to say what if, right? Any decision. I don't give a damn if you say, you know what, I'm gonna go to Stop and Shop better than what Big Y. But what if I don't go to either one of those, I go somewhere else? Well, I run the risk of not getting the sales at either one of those places. I run the risk of higher prices. You see what I'm saying? Simple. You can apply this to your everyday practical life. What if? I don't feel like there was a what if conversation at these tables. That's what this is looking like. There was no what if conversation. And clearly, and I get it. Listen, troops need to come home. 20 years is a long time. It's a long, and lots of lives, civilian and military lives lost. And I don't want to say for what, because we know what the for what was. We get the for what. We're not asking what if. And that's where I'm stuck. Because I feel like nobody asked the what if. And I'm telling you, if you have to make a decision, any decision, if you're not asking the what if, you're not interested in a good outcome. You're just not interested in, you're not invested in a good outcome. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're not asking the what if in any situation, well, what if? Now, there are some who will say, you can't what if everything. Yes, you can. Until you get to a resolution that you're comfortable with, that you can sleep at night with, and that brings you close to what it is the goal is, or the end game is. That's what that is. Between Afghanistan, Haiti, and these damn fires, I think the world is like, get off this planet, humans, because y'all are destructive and disruptive. Y'all are disruptive and destructive. I know what the earth is saying. Listen, we got them damn dinosaurs off the planet. Y'all are next. I'm sure the earth is saying, y'all are next. And y'all being humans, y'all are next. Listen, we did away with the Neanderthals. We evolutioned our way out of that. So, listen, the earth is saying, we don't like humans. Thought this was a good experiment? Nah, they're tearing the earth up. And I know the universe is saying, look at these humans on earth, earthlings. They are trashing up the universe with their space junk. You know these other beings got to be saying that about us. They got to be saying it, because we don't see nobody else's junk in the universe. You go up there and you see all our space junk, satellites that don't work. It's like, it's the same thing as if you pull in some neighborhoods and you see cars on the front lawn. That decreases your value of your property when you see that kind of stuff. Same thing with the universe. That other beings ride through the universe, come past Earth, smell the space junk. Like, what is going on? Why are they so trashy? I'm just saying. That's how I see it. You might not see it that way. Might not. So yeah, the earth is going to throw us off. It's going to kill us. No, the earth is going to take herself back from us by any means necessary. Because I think the earth is tired of humans. It can't survive with humans. Humans are detrimental to its existence. So therefore, humans have to go. I'm not talking today, tomorrow, next year, next week, or the next generation. I'm talking, pay attention. See where we end up. See where we end up. Because they ain't working. And we got, listen to the scientists. They're like, planet is hurting. And I'm inclined to go with it. Like, listen, you could even tell in the beginning of the pandemic and everybody had to quarantine at home. Look what nature did. Nature grew, the air cleaned, right? Waters cleaned itself. Animals, came out of the woods, started coming back to where they used to be. Into, you could see wild animals coming into cities and towns, because the earth, humans had to quarantine. People were off the streets, no activity, no busy, no movement, no here and there and back and forth. So the earth was like, oh, I remember a time when there was clean air. I remember a time when there was clean water. I remember a time when there was peace, quiet, before the humans got here. So I'm telling you, earth, I'm not going to worry about the earth. While we're trying to figure out how to fix it, the earth has already decided, like, we got to get humans off the planet. Might take us 1 billion years, but they need to go. And I'm not mad at the earth for it, because if you look around, not been good stewards of this place called home. Not good stewards. So I'm just saying. So now, let me shift to my other thing that is irritating me beyond measure. Now I didn't watch Lizzo's. I saw it on the news, people, and then I watched her Good Morning America conversation with Juju Chang, right, which was really good. So that should give people solace about her state of mind. But apparently, people are, you know, I mean, she's getting hit by racism, getting hit by fat phobia from everybody, and it's just sickening. So I'm Team Lizzo all day, and I don't care what size she is. Size does not determine talent, intellect, kindness. Doesn't do any of that. Just says her vessel bigger than yours. That's all that is. Her vessel is bigger than yours. And uh, when you spend your time trashing another human because of their size, then that speaks to your own insecurities about your size. Because if you are cool with your size, why are you concerned about somebody else that you don't even know size? You might know people. I mean, you might know fat people, right? Or you might not. But I went and saw somebody posted something, her comments, or they posted comments about Lizzo. And I tend to not really read comments unless it's something that I agree with. I don't like to read comments that are just mean. Like so I was reading the comments. Somebody had posted something on one of these little ridiculous little Facebook posts. And the things that people were saying about her, about Lizzo, I just, I, I was just stunned at the level that people come out their bag to say to her. I mean, everything from you'll never get a husband, like that's some damn prize. You'll never be more successful than what you are now. Like, how do you know? Because she's a fat woman. You know how many successful fat women there are in the world? Oh, and then they were calling her mammies. And people call her mammies. That means they just don't understand the historical context in which they are talking. They just don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just throwing stuff out there because it sounds like like the greatest of insults. They don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they just don't know what they're talking about when they say mammy. It's like when people call people Uncle Toms. You don't know what you're talking about. Because you don't mean Uncle Tom, you mean Sambo, but that's a whole other conversation. I just I, listen. She's gonna sashay all the way to the bank, and she doesn't need anybody to come to her aid. She got this, but people are coming to her aid. But to be a Black woman in America is to take all the hits, take all the criticisms, take all the scorn. The muse of the world. That's that's what Zora Neale Hurston said. Um, I mean, we have a lot of phobias, not just fat people. I mean, there's just a lot of things that people got something to say about. And usually it's just rooted in ignorance. A lot of it, most of it, rooted in ignorance. And then whatever's not rooted in ignorance, the rest is just fear, right? So ignorance and fear, powerful, because it doesn't open the door for you to pursue. Um, it doesn't. Ignorance and fear does not allow you to seek the higher ground. not just for in all things, but just in your own everyday practical lives. You know, you come to a site and you got to wax poetic about somebody you don't even know. That speaks about you. You know, like when I go hard on somebody, it's really not about them. It's about me and my feelings about it. So I want people to sort of just be more mindful about that. But you know, the only way that you can cure ignorance and stupidity is to put the light of day of information to truth, to walk in truth. You get people to walk in truth, then there'll be no need for that. Fear is another thing. To overcome a fear, you've got to meet it face on. You know, you got to stand in it and say, why is this scaring me so badly? Why is this scaring me so much so that I will come out my bag and say this, that, and the other thing, or do this, that, and the other thing? Like, what is it in me that whatever's in front of me is scaring me so badly that I've got to act from a place of my fears rather than any other place? That's all I'm saying. I find that to be, when people do that kind of critical work on themselves, you know, and most people aren't willing to do, then they could get at why they have a fat phobia or homophobia or whatever the phobia is, you know. What is it? You know, we can easily sort of understand the fear of spiders, right? Oh, I don't want spiders. I hate spiders. They crawl, 6 legs, 8 legs. Okay. But then when you start getting to the heart of why you're afraid. Oh, when I was a kid, blah, 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 blah. Or, oh, I had one on me one time and just felt blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then you get to the heart of it. But once you figure out something about spiders, then they can't, first of all, as a human, you're a gazillion times bigger than a spider. That's just it. So there's that. And then, uh, and I get it because I don't like mice. Ugh. Not that I'm afraid of them, I just don't like them around. But I recognize I am a gazillion times bigger than it. Now, this doesn't play well with like elephants and rhinoceroses, right? Rhinos. I'm not bigger than those things. But I'm not anywhere where I'm in contact with elephants and rhinoceroses, rhinos. So that doesn't work. Unless I'm on safari in Africa, which is unlikely. I'm not going to be afraid. Like, I'm not walking down the street like, oh my God, I'm so afraid that an elephant's going to charge me. Not on Ivy Street. It's just, I mean, I guess it could happen, but the probability of it actually happening, very small. So you see where I'm going with this whole fear thing? Perspective. Perspective. I'm saying, have some perspective and get to the heart of your fears. Whatever is scaring you, get to it. Dig deep. Figure out what it is. Get to the lowest common denominator of why you are fearing or feeling the way that you are. Just get to it. I'm gonna say that. So yeah. So I'm Team Lizzo all day. That's it. You can be naked or not naked. You can sing and dance or not sing and dance. You play the flute or not play the flute. Whatever it is, I'm good with it. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to stand by and let people fat shame her in my presence or my timeline or any of that. I'm not going to do that. I just feel like I got a responsibility to, if nobody else is going to stand up, I'm gonna stand up. Sit. So anyway, beauties, lovelies, darlings. Anyway, darlings. Uh, my thing. And monitor and look at the world. Try to make it a better place where I sit. Try not to do harm. Try to be a decent human. Try to mind my own damn business. How about that? Whew. Tonight, good people, Zydeco. No, that was last night. I wonder how it went. I wonder if Karen Ponzio went. I have to find out. You know, she goes to all the cool stuff. And I don't know if Brian Slattery went. But if she went, I'm going to wait for her to post. She was there last night. She might not have been there last night. She might have been somewhere else. No, I don't see her posting. And but it might be early for her to put stuff up. We'll see. I don't know if Brian Slattery went. I want to know if anybody went to Cafe 9 last night. I got to go look it up because I didn't get a chance to do it. I was down the street at the Ivy Narrows, hanging out with the women's, drinking good tequila, which it's about time for me to go all the way dry. Go all the way dry because I can't wait to. All right. It was not vodka. Drink vodka anymore. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't like to drink vodka anymore. Tequila is my thing. And I had some orange flavored tequila last night. Quite refreshing. What? Refreshing. That's why I feel like I'm a little bit dragging this morning because we sat out there for a lot of hours last night. It was lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely last night. It was cool. It was the moon was gorgeous. Sky was clear. You know. Good. Very nice. So anyway, that's where I was last night. I didn't get to go here in Zydeco. And then after I get off air today, I go pick up my new baby. Going to pick up the red Rihanna. So I am excited because my car, Pearl, brakes are going. And I was like, I can't put any more money in this thing. I own the car. I traded it. And my son, Gregory, helped me clean it out yesterday. I wouldn't have been able to do it if he didn't help me. You know, I'm telling you, you can always count on them Virgos. They can get any job done, I swear to God. And I'm just grateful I got it done. So now I could just drop this car off. And, you know, when I was on the vineyard in May, got me a magnet. And I bought this with no intentions of thinking I was getting a new car. I just wanted one of these. And I wasn't sure. And I didn't put it on the Pearl. I was gonna, but I just never did. I was like, the Pearl's always dirty. I was like, I don't want to put it. I'm gonna put this, and I got a Long Wharf Theater You Belong magnet, like just a big square one. I was behind somebody yesterday that had one on their car, but I couldn't see who it was. I'm sure it was a board member, but I couldn't see who it was. So I'm gonna put this on my car, and today when I go pick it up, I'll put it right on the back. Martha's Vineyard. But he takes it off though. So yeah, good. I'm good. I'm good. I go pick up my new car. I get off air at 11. Go pick it up. Uh, and then I gotta go to the doctor's. Gotta go have my pre-op checkup with my primary care physician. So he can sign off on letting me get my surgery. Letting me have my surgery. So and yes. So I gotta do that today. I gotta run by the paper today. Uh, that's it. That's my day. I think that's my day. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I got a bunch of things I got to do. Oh, so I'm starting a new podcast, Porch. We're taping today, this evening. Women, I've gathered a couple of women, and I'm so looking forward having them on the porch this evening, so we can talk about two topics, and then we're gonna tape a bunch of them, not tonight, but over the next couple of weeks for surgery, and then we'll have maybe hopefully enough get halfway through a season so that we can start building an audience for our porch, or on the porch with Babz Rawls-ivy. And it's not going to be like an hour-long podcast we have to sit and listen. It's gonna be really interesting. Keep it tight and lean and snappy. Keep it snappy. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, it's time. It's time to sort of branch out and some of that. It's time. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a great day. Be a great day. And then tomorrow, more of the same. I bet. I don't have a guest this week until Friday. Steve Johnson and Ann Harrison from Workforce Alliance are coming on. Talk about that equity inclusion money they got do some equity inclusion work. Workforce Alliance. So I'm looking forward to that conversation Friday. They're a little tricky to keep scheduling. They are busy over there. So I'm ready for it. So yeah. I'm going to meet up. I'm having dinner with a woman who knew my grandparents. So my sorority sister, Valerie McCurchin, her people are from the same place my people were from, my grandparents. And we just kind of discovered this, we go to sorority meetings, you start chatting about your roots and all that other kind of stuff. She has a cousin that knew my grandparents and knew my family. So I'm going to meet with her, having dinner with her tomorrow. I'm very excited. So I text my aunt, my only surviving aunt, and I said, "Hey, Aunt Jen, do you remember this? Do you know this particular person?" So she didn't know. She said, "Is that her married name or her maiden name?" So I text. This is I spent like an hour doing this. I text my sorority sister Val. I said, "Hey, is her last name this? Is that her maiden name or her married name?" So she texts me back. It's like, "Oh, that's her married name, but her maiden name is this. So I text my aunt back. I said, "Aunt Jen, her maiden name is this, blah blah." So my aunt Jen texts me back and she goes, "Oh, I don't recall her, but I know the family. We grew up with the family, and I think there is some blood relations mixed in there some kind of way." So anyway, I'm gonna have dinner with her tomorrow, with my sorority sister and her, and I'm gonna take a picture of her with me, and I'm gonna send it to my aunt, see if it jogs her memory or whatever. So, but I'm looking forward to hear something about my maternal grandparents were Ruth and Willie, Ruth and Jerome Peppers, and so I'm looking forward to hearing about them in ways that you don't know your grandparents, right? Like my grandparents have been dead for about 40 years now, so maybe a little longer. I think they died just before I went off to college, or maybe before then. Maybe I was still in high school when they died. I'm not. Yeah, they I wasn't even I was still in high school when my grandparents died, or something like that. Anyway, um, so I remember my grandparents, but I don't know them. Like I don't know their story. When we were kids, we'd hear bits and pieces of things because grown folks sitting in grown folks spaces. Kids not sitting in grown folks spaces. Um, so I remember bits and pieces and stories, and I remember my grandmother very clearly. My grandmother, she was toward the end, she was very sickly. She's a very fragile kind of woman, very fragile woman. And uh, my grandfather Jerome, he had a great sense of humor and a great smile. Um, he had a great smile. I remember that. Um, and I was their first grandchild, so I believe there was a great deal of spoiling going on. And I think for them, I could do no wrong. I'm convinced I could do no wrong with them. Um, so they kept me in, like all grandparents. They kept me in all the popular toys and all the things. And yes, and my grandmother, my grandmother loved when my sister and I would come down. Well, she didn't really like my sister too much, but she liked me a whole lot. And so she would love for me to come because she liked the way that I talked. So she would invite some of the white women over, and she let me talk, which is a rarity because grown folks don't let children talk to grown folks. That's how I was raised up. So 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 my grandmother liked the way that I talked. I mean, even as a little child, she just thought I sounded smart. And so that's what I would do. I would just she would just like I wouldn't say I wasn't like a trained SEAL or anything, but she was quite proud of her Yankee grandchildren. I'll say that. Quite proud of her Yankee grandchildren. And I don't know what she would think of us now, but I remember when I was I know, yes, they passed when I was in high school because I remember I was a culinary student. I remember I cooked some pasta sauce that was way too hot. No, I made some chili that was way spicy. My grandmother ate it and she was like, "Ooh, it's a little." But you made it, baby. It's good. It's good. Like, baby, it's good. It's good. A little hot for grandmama though. A little hot for grandmama. And when I ate it, I was like, "Oh my God, I damn near killed my grandmother with this hot ass chili." It was so it was so spicy. She ate it. I was like, "Lord have mercy." That was such a that's what I mean. Grandmothers, you got a good one. You got a good one. She was very, it's good to me. I don't think she cared too much for my sister. I know she loved my sister, but she didn't care too much for my sister. Because my sister was high maintenance and high strung. And then she had this high pitched voice, and it would just grate your nerves when she got mad. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it was like a banshee. And my sister was very, very light skinned when she was little. And so that coupled with that high pitched voice and that high strongness, and she just her and my grandmother just never hit it off. My grandmother loved her. Don't get me wrong, but my sister was my grandma Taylor's baby. You know, my grandmother Eva Taylor, my father's mother. My sister was her baby. Like, you know how my grandmother Ruth was. I was her baby. My sister was Eva Taylor, Eva C. Taylor's baby, and she could do no wrong for that girl. You know, my grandmother lived for my sister. You know, just thought the world. I mean, my grandmother loved me too. I always felt her love. So I'm not saying this out of anything other than this is what I noticed, and this is what we know. And my sister knows this too. That she was my grandmother's favorite. I mean, she really was. Her and my yes, her and my brother Michael, they were my grandmother's favorites. And then me and my brother Robert were my grandmother Ruth's favorites. I don't know what that was about. But I mean, they loved us all. Don't get me wrong. My grandparents on both sides loved us. We felt that love, grew up with it. But you know, there was favorites. For sure. For sure there were favorites. For sure there were favorites. So, hey, there's some Lizzo. I know, right, Harry? People coming for her. They better come by me first. Hey. You think you want to get to Lizzo, you better come by me first. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, for me, that's all good. Anyway.
Harry, what'd you say, Harry? For me in my house, we shall serve Lizzo.
It's all good for me. I'm of course, you know, it's me. I'm a Baskin Robbins type of guy, you know. Me, it's all
do explain that analogy.
Well, I like all the flavors. And I go vanilla, yum. Chocolate, yum. Strawberry, yum. That's how I roll.
Harry said, that's how I roll. I like the flavors. I'm a flavor for your flavor. You put the flavor in your ear. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
And by the way, she is super talented.
She is,
woman, a beautiful woman and beautiful talent. I mean, she is super talented. Yeah. I was one of those people who had her first album on freaking on loop. You know, my wife.
Marquisha turned me on to her. I didn't know who she was because I don't listen to too much popular music, Harry. So
yeah,
you know.
and Karen was like, "You're into Lizzo?" I'm like, "You need to get into Lizzo."
And when Harry's telling you to get into somebody, you better jump fast, baby. You know, I'm a fan. I mean, I follow her on Instagram, and I mean, she's herself. But
yeah, there's not, you know, we have such a thing these days where you have to hide who you are, and that, you know, and that's why I've always said that I don't ever want to cut anybody's free speech, freedom of expression, because even the bad guys, at least they reveal themselves. So I say more free speech, more freedom of expression, and the people who don't like you, you know.
Yes, I'm with you.
And then the bad guys get exposed. Good thing too.
Yes, sirree.
But yeah, so I was listening to you talk about the Afghanistan stuff and everything.
Oh.
And yeah, I went to sleep late yesterday, because for me, you know, I really have liked CNN's reporting on. So I was stuck on CNN yesterday for a while, probably too long. But hearing everybody's perspectives, and then you have the intelligence agencies and the military now leaking. Oh, we told them about everything.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, Harry. When I got more information, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. So I was just like stuck there trying to figure I mean, it's dumb to try to figure it out, but just wondering why. Then if he was getting all this information, he did this. But that's all we could ask. We're never gonna really figure out what's going on. I just hope we could. Right now, the Taliban is surrounding the airport.
Well, the U.S. military is there now.
Yeah,
and flights have resumed. People are getting out because
right.
they sent some troops over there. But
I read, I think it was on CNN, where there was one flight that only took 7 people.
Oh, I don't know about that, but ooh.
It's now it's the Taliban who's deciding who gets to go to the airport.
Yeah.
So, and I know there's negotiations right now with them telling them, please let our people out. So I don't know. The more I hear that about the military and the intelligence agencies actually warning that this was definitely going to happen, it just. But sad. And for me, I don't know. I'm afraid for everybody, but the women and kids.
That's where my Harry, when you see these people running to the airport, you don't see no women in that crowd or the children. And you see these men getting on these. I mean, I think you said something yesterday that stuck with me all night. I couldn't shake it. Don't they care about their women? Don't they care? And I don't think they do, Harry. When you put women at such a low, when you put your pets before you put your real women.
Karen was talking to somebody who has family over. It's sad, the conversations that it was saying, the real men, the men who are willing to defend their families are actually, some of them are going to kill their families instead of having them the torture of rape and marriage.
Oh.
So
and it's going to come to that, Harry. Yeah. Listen, there were women and men enslaved that did that. That, you know what, rather than to see, if I get my family back, and rather than see them sold off or raped or put in these breeding farms, or they make me mate with my sister or my mother, just die.
So yeah, that's where some of them are, and it's sad.
I mean, white men make white messes, I guess. That's what I'm gonna say. But you know what? Listen, you got to deal with this all over the world now. You got Somalia, you got Yemen, it's just unrest everywhere. You know what I'd like to see? The earth is going to just kick us off any minute now, but I'd like to see a day of cease everything. I just need a ceasefire, a cease everything.
Yeah. And, I read an article where the moon's orbit is in a wobble right now that.
Oh, like, get in there. Hell yes, get in there. Well, hey, big girl, can you back it up? Can you back it up?
So the wobble may bring a lot of
Harry, you gotta find another word. Because every time you say
that's what they use.
Every time you say it, Harry, I need you to play the music.
Take a shot every time I say wobble. But yeah, so that it may cause a lot of natural disasters and everything. You know how the oceans and everything are basically run by the moon.
Yeah.
And everything.
The earth has put in a call to the moon and said, listen, we need to get these humans off this planet. I can't wait 1 billion years. I need them to go in the next 600 million years.
Yeah, the Earth said, you know that wobble you do?
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Get in there. Hell yeah, get in there.
Yeah. And you know, it's insane. You're right. I mean, we are the freaking virus. I'm telling you, the Earth is like, COVID what? How about these humans? For real. You have people say global warming, and then you have China and Russia melting ice. In the Antarctic, it's like, what? Wait,
like, what are you doing?
What are you guys doing? Why don't you move somewhere where it's already melting? Why you gotta melt?
Like in your own countries, it's fine. You got places in your own country where you don't have any ice. Chill. Oh, I know. And then China recognized the Taliban. They don't recognize them as a government, but as a power. I'm like, oh.
My Russian friend, I spoke to him yesterday, and he said, you notice how the Russians aren't evacuating there. The Taliban is leaving us alone. You know, Putin. Like, that's because you guys already have a negotiated deal with Putin and China.
Thank you.
Monsters, you know, this, what is it? Honor amongst thieves. Well, I guess it's honor amongst monsters.
and listen, monsters are like, don't put us in that link. don't put us in that. Don't put us in that category.
I was so upset when he said that. I'm like, look.
Godzilla's like, I don't get down like that. I stay trying to save the earth, even though I destroy. When I come, I destroy a lot. But in the overall, I save it. I might torch a few cities, but overall, I save it. Like, okay, Godzilla, back to Monster Island with you, or wherever Godzilla lives.
You know, and I don't know. Yesterday, I saw a couple of soldiers who had served in Afghanistan and were missing legs and everything. And I what does the news expect them to say? Of course they're disappointed. They lost their legs, or they lost their, you know, their body in Afghanistan. I think sometimes,
and they're not going to speak out against. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a code that they're going to respect. Yeah,
but what I'm looking at it, and I'm like, are they intentionally trying to upset me? You know, it's like, what are you doing? Just report the news. I don't want you to make news. Don't go and ask people how they feel. I mean, I get it, but there's just some things I just want to focus on getting our people. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And the Afghans that helped, you know, the interpreters, they got to get out too. They got, because, you know, Harry, you know what they do when they going door to door killing people.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna go door to door, wholesale killing people.
There's like 30,000 of those people who helped us that they.
And they've gotten what, 600 of them out so far? Like maybe 1,000 of them out. And
they've only approved 2,000 emergency. That's it. You know, you got 30,000. What are we doing here? Why are we dragging our tails like this?
Are we hoping that the Taliban will get to them and knock off that number a little bit? Because that's the only way I can think about this, Harry. Because it makes no sense otherwise. Are you waiting for the Taliban to knock off some of that 30,000 so you will get closer to your 2,000 number? I'm just trying to understand the rationale behind any of this. I mean, listen, I'm no diplomat. I'm not in the military. I'm not in any of those things. But I'm telling you, Harry, this is not how you run stuff.
It's not how you run stuff, and it's both sides. I'm disgusted with both sides.
I'm mad with everybody, Harry. Yeah. I don't give a damn if you're a Democrat, Republican, or a Libertarian. I'm mad at everybody because somebody in that room should have been able to say, like I said at the last hour, nobody's asking the what if. The what if. That's the most important question. Hey, I'm Biden. I think I want to pull the troops out. Somebody around that damn table has to say, well, what if? What happens if we do this?
And I saw some Republican, I don't know, on TV yesterday talking about, are we obligated to take all these refugees? Oh, hell God. Yeah.
I'm sorry. We was over there in their country. You damn right we obligated to take them. They helped us over there. We couldn't have done any of that stuff without the help of these people.
Well, that's the reason they helped us. We promised them safety. Of course you're obligated. So it drives me nuts. It was driving me crazy yesterday. I can't deal with it.
I was like, okay, then you go over there and you tell those people we don't want to help them now, because I don't know what else to say to them.
Yeah, I don't want people to talk if they're just gonna say stupid things. Just, I need them to stay quiet. Not right now.
And yeah, I need you to be quiet. You need to be very, very quiet. Shh, 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 shh.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the former Afghan president is in the UAE. He's in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh.
Okay.
You know,
I think he should have not said anything either. Like, if you're gonna run from your country, you need to just shut up, because you're no longer the president, right? Like, I just feel like this, Harry. You leave your people in the lurch. Why is anybody even talking to you?
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like there's so many different. I don't know what's a good answer right now for Biden. Right? So, like, I was listening to people say, because the Taliban was sitting in their equivalent of the Oval Office, right? And they're sitting there basically mocking the world. And they're like, why don't we send a drone and bomb them? And as much sense as that makes, how many people have the stomach for that?
Yeah, that's real, Harry.
Yeah.
We people can say that mess all they want, but when you do that kind of stuff, guess what? There's civilians. You're not going to just kill the people sitting at that little table. Everybody is going to get affected by that.
Right.
Women and children mostly.
Right. And then what would be the judgment then on Biden, right? So it's like, okay, why don't we bomb him right now? Okay, but it's never that easy. They surround themselves with civilians intentionally.
Listen, they don't have no problems putting them women on the front line to be shot at. They don't care.
Right.
They're not caring. You think they care? They don't care.
So saying silly stuff like that, oh, well, let's just bomb them.
I mean, yeah, everybody gets that passion. We feel like, I mean, listen, I've said it a few times, not about this situation, but other stuff.
Look, I get it too. When you get anxious and angry, you say stuff, but you have to pull back and start to think, wait a minute.
Your rationale has to enter in.
Yeah,
you're like, okay,
you have to say, wait a minute.
Let me, I'm just talking, I'm mad, I'm angry. Let me dial it back. You can't go in there and do that. No?
Yeah, because of course those are easy things. Bombing people is easy. It is easy.
It is. Harry. I mean, listen, we done learned a lesson. Didn't we learn our lesson with Hiroshima or Hiroshima? Did we learn that lesson?
Yeah,
that's why we don't do that anymore. That's why we don't drop bombs on whole cities and countries, because we learned a very valuable lesson. That's not humane. The bomb is not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get that person. I'm going to get that person. Oh, and then I'm going to bypass this person. Bombs don't do that. You know what bombs do, Harry? They tear up everything that it hits. like bullets. They don't got no name on it for you. Like, oh, I'm a bullet. I'm looking for Babz specifically. But if you're in the way, I'm not going to hit you. I'm just going to look for her. No.
Right. A bomb is the equivalent of a drive-by shooting with stray bullets.
Yes. Exactly.
So
you talking about making the situation worse.
I get it that we just want to.
We just want to end it. you want to shut them down. You want to hurt them, and you want to shut it down. But that's not the way to go. And they know that too. The Taliban and whoever else is down with them. They know that Americans don't have the heart to do that kind of stuff. I don't know anybody in the world who really does have the heart to do it. Maybe Putin, but
Putin in China.
yeah, Putin.
I got to. I definitely.
You might be right, Harry, because China will kill their own people if they protest.
Yep. It will run over them like speed bumps.
and be like, I don't give a damn if the world is watching.
Yep.
And Putin was like, listen, you don't want us to use bombs? We got some good poisons. He got the goods on the poison. So I don't, this is a mess. And it's enough blame for everybody. And I don't want to be in the, listen, I'm out the blame game now. You know what I want? I want solutions. I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, well, because listen, it's been a problem in the Middle East for a very long time, centuries. So we can't go back to George Washington. We can't go back to Abe Lincoln. We can't go, we just can't.
No,
I want solutions now. And I want the world to help this. I want everybody to help this.
Right now, it's a huge cluster, right? And the only thing if we sit around pointing fingers at each other, what's that gonna?
Nothing's gonna get done.
Yeah, we need to start with solutions. I read an article this morning. The UK is livid over this decision by Biden, but because they got people stranded over too. So we have to. Yeah, we have to see past. It's a cluster F, but we got to see past the. It happened.
Yeah, there's no going back. You can't undo it. So all you have to do now is move forward with a solution.
Yeah, you can't rewind.
We can't rewind. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna fix this? I just need it to be fixed, and it can't be like, we don't know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Do the right thing. What does Spike Lee say? Do the right thing.
Yeah,
do the right thing.
We have to isolate them. It's sad because still people suffer. They're suffering anyway. So we have to isolate them like we do North Korea and everything, and make them pay on the world stage for everything. We're obviously out of not wartime right now. We're out of it. So it's just doing it differently. People aren't going to be happy with that. Especially
they're not going to be happy with any of this.
Yeah, especially the war hawks. They're going to want to go in and let's just go
let's
back
kill
there.
Everybody.
Yeah, and no, it's not going to work either.
Let's go and kill everybody. No, we're not doing that.
Our Big Daddy, the Bin Laden's number 2, he's still in Gitmo, and he told them that they hadn't lost, that they would just wait for the Americans to quit. And
that's at the heart of all of their. This is why we don't understand that level of commitment.
Exactly.
Like this is generational commitment, Harry. You train up your kids to have this commitment.
Yeah.
And I get it. The way to break the chain of that commitment is to introduce another way of life to these folks. 20 years was not enough. 20 years wasn't, why 20 years isn't enough, Harry? Because the hatred and the terrorism is longer than 20 years.
Yeah. You have to wait generations.
They needed a good 60 years of this. 60 years of being in Afghanistan. That would have changed the tides, because you started to see people ease into having cafes and businesses, women going to school. That's how you do it. You need to be there for 60 years.
You have to be at least 3 generations removed from the.
So that their kids don't remember a time when there was a Taliban. Like a Taliban, like what is that? You know what I mean? Like that's how you had to do that thing. Because these cats are gonna die out. They're gonna die out. But what serves them is when they recruit these young cats, and they put in their minds, this is your fight now. This is your fight. This is a fight for our people. This is a fight for Allah. This is, you drown that into them. You got to give them something else. You know what? Give them some cell phones and some lattes and Western foolishness and freedom. I could go to school. I mean, I'm a woman and I don't have to marry nobody at 12. I could go learn something. I could be something.
And that's the thing that we got people to dream.
Yeah.
And that's sad to take those dreams away.
Yeah.
That's really sad, especially for the woman who all they knew was to be treated like animals. And then they saw the future in their children, their daughters.
Yeah.
And now that's taken away.
Yeah, because they just waited us out. That's all they did, Harry. They just waited us out. Yeah. They just waited us out.
Yep.
You know?
And then one of the, yesterday I was saying, re-entry?
Yeah.
Re-entry personified over there in Afghanistan. One of the terrorists we let out of Gitmo, he's now second in command of the Taliban, leading the fight. Like
monsters. I know people felt some way about Gitmo. I know, but listen, you know what, Harry? If we had monsters amongst us, and we locked up the monsters, there'd be people out there saying, let these monsters go free. They have a right to be free.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. If we get some sea monster come out the sea and is eating all the boats, as soon as we lock it up, there'll be protesters saying,
there'll be people out there saying, no, give us free. Let him free. Yeah. He deserves to be free. All right. Even if he eats you, even if it kills you, even if it yes.
So anyway, okay. So I was just like that was disappointing. But we've made so many. The thing is, I was listening to everybody say mistakes. Right? It's easy to call things you've done in the past mistakes because hindsight. It's easy to look back and go, "Oh yeah, we shouldn't have done that."
Oh yeah, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback after a Sunday night game.
This.
Oh, I would have did this from my recliner.
Yeah. And then the thing is that we're America, right? So we try to lead with optimism, not seeing the world. We try to lead. We're supposed to be the leaders of the free world, and so we try not to lead like they do. So to try to give an example.
Yeah.
It backfires on us all the time because the craziness is embedded in them. It's like you said, unless you weed it out of them generationally, it'll stick there.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 years wasn't long enough. And that's the rub right there, Harry. That's the realization. That is the real realization. We wasn't there long enough. But nobody's gonna say that because
that's the hard part.
That's the hard part. And it makes us think about our military might in a different way. Right? It makes us think about how we use our military. And I think the times are changing in terms of this fighting on the ground kind of stuff. The fight is going to be elevated. I mean, I think we're always going to need military might. Yes, not suggesting we,
No, definitely.
All fund the military.
All of this is moving to cyber warfare where they're turning off your lights and everything.
Right. I don't care about you. Listen, you can have all the military you want, but if y'all can't see in the dark,
yeah.
You're gonna have to address that.
So it's of course the rest, parts of the world, the fight's gonna be an evolving fight into new technology, but then you have pockets of the world like Afghanistan
that's gonna throw rocks at you. I mean,
go way back.
Oh, are they gonna buy their weapons on the black market? You know, and
Yeah.
we know there's a black market, right? We know there's arms dealers.
Well, right now they don't have to do that. All the weapons were left behind, so they
Yeah,
have
well,
Black
there you
Hawk
go.
helicopters and
Yeah,
everything.
they got all the toys.
You
Now,
know,
whether they know how to use all the toys is another thing.
well, I'm sure they'll keep a couple of those soldiers alive to, be able to use the stuff. But we abandoned a military base that we spend so much money to build up. We abandoned the military base where we could have evacuated everybody from the military base. Instead, we went to the Kabul airport. Makes no sense. More stuff that makes no sense. Instead of maintaining the base, holding the base, we went to the Kabul airport. Makes no sense. All that stuff here, running around. Like, wow. But, hey, and they were on the streets yesterday with our weapons, scaring the populace over them.
Yeah. Yes.
So the question is, where do we go from here? Because
Oh.
Harry and Babz are not going to sing.
No, we are. No, we can't, Harry. We got a track record for solving stuff.
Yeah, we would like to.
We're not going to Afghanistan. Yesterday I felt like we should go over there and just deal with them, but now I feel like we just zoom in.
Yeah, they should have consulted us. We would look 100% that Babz and I would have came up with a better plan to get out.
Believe it, Harry. You put all the stuff on the table, we'd have been like, okay, we can figure this out.
Yeah. But like, no. Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah, we're definitely not. But man, the optics of it all is that's what's disturbing me. Is the Russian guy yesterday laughing at the mess the United States, which by the way, he became a U.S. citizen, but shows you that some people shouldn't be citizens. Laughing. The United States.
I was like, you missing the whole point, man.
Yeah.
You are missing the point. Missing it.
Anyway, let's see if we can find something different.
Well, we talked about Lizzo. We talked about
yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the New York Times and all I got is
I mean, listen. We knew we had to get out of Afghanistan, I guess. Not a guess, but we did. 20, I mean, whatever. Is what it is.
Oh, the Texas governor got a
COVID. Harry. And they don't got no ventilators in Texas available. So he better not get sick. Or he gonna have to go to
he's asymptomatic, and he's fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
So which is why he's not sick.
But so he's spreading it to people because he's an anti-masker. He's anti-masker.
He's actually, without probably knowing it, he's serving as an example that you could survive COVID if
you. He's not bright enough to figure that out, Harry. Somebody should tap him on the shoulder and say, "Listen, you're alive because you got vaccinated, right?" Just trying to point that out to you. He's not very bright. He's just not a bright man. Him and DeSantis, they're just not bright. I don't know how they got to be. Well, I know how they got to be, but not very bright.
You saw the girl who won the Nobel Peace Prize, Malala.
Yeah.
Afghani girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a little article that Afghans.
Oh, she's right.
Yeah.
You see, she ain't in Afghanistan.
In the thing, going to school, and that was during the time that we were there. Shot in the.
Oh, so in the Washington Post, Harry, Taliban says it would be more tolerant toward women, but some fear otherwise. Listen, I, I didn't. For my money, Harry, I don't know if you can trust terrorists with their word.
No, I
And
mean,
I'm just, I don't know. Call me old fashioned, but I just feel like if you're a terrorist, I don't think I can trust you on any matter.
yeah, I mean, and then yesterday, I'm a, you know, I'm constantly channel surfing. Well, it's really 3 news channels, um, and Bloomberg, um, and it's just, oh my God, can we stop the we're in a dire situation over there. We all just work together. So tired of hearing one side snipe at the other, blah 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 blah.
Well, I'm really concerned about Haiti right now
Oh,
too.
Haiti got hit twice. With
Then they got the storm,
the
right?
storm. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
Haiti's struggling right now,
And
and
they was already struggling on top of struggle,
right,
right?
and the world's attention is taken off of them when they
Yeah,
really need help. So some people probably don't even know that Haiti's struggling the system because freaking Taliban is taking up all the oxygen in the room. But yeah, I was reading that this morning. So Haiti basically took a double hit because they were trying to recover from this earthquake, and then the storm comes and destroys stuff. Ah, horrible.
yes. So T-Mobile had a data breach.
Yeah,
40 million people.
and they try to keep it hush hush. They
I
try to
don't know
keep
how they think they're gonna keep 40 million people's, because Harry, the minute you start getting these ridiculous calls and these ridiculous things, you can be like, how'd you get my number? Data breach. What data breach? Oh, you ain't hear about the data breach? Oh, I got your information from T-Mobile.
and if you've ever like, I'm no longer with T-Mobile.
I never was with them.
I'm with AT&T, and since I was a past customer, I'm sure all my information is still there on this service. So I
Oof.
got hit anyway, right? Doesn't matter if I'm T-Mobile now or not. So I mean, yeah, everybody. I've been getting all these weird calls, and my spam calls are 10 times as much, and now I get texts from everybody and their mother, but trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
so many texts.
Oh,
So it's
Harry.
like, do I change my number? How do
I
I
have
get
so
rid of
many
all this?
blocked numbers. I don't even if there's a limit to the numbers I could block.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I should change my number, but everybody has had my number over 20 years.
Me too, Harry. I've had this cell phone because Lawrence got the phones when we started building our family. And so we wanted the kids to be able to remember our number, and our number is only 1 digit apart. So I've never changed my number. I don't think he's changed his either. So we have the same numbers. I'll probably go to my grave with this number. I
Yeah,
still
but
remember my house phone number when I was a little kid.
you still remember?
Yeah,
I
because we
can't
had that
remember.
number. We had that number. My mother had that number for 40 years or so. And if she didn't die, she probably still would have it.
I got the first 6 numbers.
It's 203-776-7755.
Nice was 718-498. I forget.
I mean, that was such an easy number. 776-7755. I love that number. If I could get that number again, I would get it. Number available. Now, God knows who the hell would dial it, right? Because people would probably be trying to reach my mom. I'm like, my mother's been dead for 20 years, baby. But that's such a good number. I still remember that number, Harry. That's one of the first numbers I memorized as a kid.
Yeah, I still have a home phone right now. And I don't know the number to it. So somebody asked me for my home number. I don't know it. I put it like it's a autofill, like when I'm filling something out
Yes.
online. So I autofill it, and because I try not to give my cell phone to anything I fill.
See, I give my cell phone is the hub for everything. I don't have a landline. I gave my landline when I left my house on Bellevue. It was 865-4596. And that number still works. Like when I go to the Stop and Shop and I gotta
Yeah,
I use my little coupon thing,
I
the
just
card.
recently gave my doctor my phone number. They were always telling me, "We leave you messages." I don't even check my home phone.
So Harry, you can't leave that. You gotta give them a number where they can actually.
No, I finally gave it to them recently because of the teledoc stuff.
Yes. Oh
so
yes.
I had to. But
I know it pains you.
I know.
I know you want to. I want you to resist changing your number. I know you want to change your number. Like, oh, 5 people have my number. Oh, that's too many people.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's too many damn people.
I have people ask me for my number all the time. An email. Can I get your number so I could just text you? And I just answer them an email. No, email is fine. I'm cool with email.
I don't give out your number either, Harry. I was like, how can you reach Harry? This is here is the email. Yeah. I don't give out your number either. So, and I don't give out people's number unless I get permission from the person to do it. Because you never know what you're walking into when you give away somebody's number.
Yeah, I mean, I think I finally gave it to Jeff. And he started texting me instead of emailing me. I just stopped answering. So then he went back to email.
Like Jeff will wear you out. He wears me out. I'm like, God, like a media somebody. I gotta catch up to him. I think his law firm is doing well. He's doing well. He's doing well. Can't complain. So, see, some stuff what do I need to do? I haven't watched too much television, although I've been watching HGTV because they've been turning loose some new shows that are going to be on Discovery, which I'm not going to get Discovery to get these shows. I'm not going to pay you $5. I already have HGTV. It comes with my package. I'm not paying for more HGTV. So
talking about that, I just got the alert this morning that it's time for me to cancel all my subscriptions.
Oh, you better do it. There's an app that'll do it for you.
Because Amazon, they like two months ago, they gave you 2 months for $1 free. 2 months.
Yes. For the day.
Yeah, so I bought all of that. I paid $1 for 2 months. And now today is the day that I have to cancel. I have like Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, AMC Plus, a few of them that I took. So if I don't do it today, they're going to hit you with a charge tomorrow.
Yes. So you better do it today. Start doing one at a time, because you're not going to be a happy camper. See, that's what happened to me, Harry. I got a subscription to Shutterstock because I wanted some pictures, and it was free for 10 days. And I put it in my phone to remind me so I could see it to cancel, Harry. that I was like, oh, I'll get to it. The next day, it was $39. Like, and I paid it twice because I didn't cancel it.
Yeah.
I finally yesterday I got on the phone with them and I said, listen, because you have in order to cancel, you have to cancel right after you have paid it. Like you can't cancel before, like if the payment is due tomorrow, you can't cancel it today because they're going to charge you. So after that last payment, I called and I said, listen, I need to cancel. They took care of it. Well, I sent the email and and then I closed my account. I was like, because I didn't even use it. So
yeah, it's the same thing with my Sirius XM account, right? I've been meaning to cancel that for a year now.
oh.
And
I might put
like,
it in my new car though. I might put it in my new car.
Well, the thing is that every time I go to cancel, they offer me
oh yes. Harry, they
70% off.
Oh, they are the masters at that.
So every time I go to cancel, I re-up for 6 months or something like that.
No.
It's like
because I had them in my house. I loved having them in my house. And then I had them in my car. So I loved it. I think I'm just going to get it in my car. I'm not going to get it in my house because I can hook up my Pandora, my Spotify, my Fire tablet, which I've already done. So I use my Fire tablet as a big remote to my Bose. I got the Echo. So I just play the music that I want through my Bose. So I don't need satellite radio.
Yeah, the thing is that
my car.
I really enjoy it during election season.
Because you could get all the talk.
Yeah, I get all the talk, and it's like so many political channels that I'm always tapping through all the political channels. There's so much. Sir. I mean, so much of it is garbage, but I like surfing until I get something interesting, and then I stay there.
Well, I like the jazz, and then they have a old school R&B thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because it plays all the music that I love, Harry, without me having to like tell it. So I was like, ooh. But
another thing that I just stopped paying, I had a second Pandora account that I was paying for that came with an Echo that I bought from Best Buy.
Oh.
So the first month was free. So I put it in my basket. Oh, free. I didn't know that they were going to automatically charge me. I had been charged for 6 months. So they were charging me at whatever, $6 a month.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get me an Echo for I have a Bose in my room and I don't play it as much because, I have to put the CDs in, which first world problems, right? But I think I might put because I love the Echo in my space behind me, but I need it for my bedroom so I could listen to my books. I could do all the things through the Bose because I like the way it sounds through the Bose.
Yeah, talking about that, I finally finished Daisy's TV yesterday.
Whoa! Got off her hit list.
So then she refused to let me out her room. She's standing at the doorway.
Like, no, Papa, you gotta stay.
She's like, Papa, you staying. I'm like, no, Daisy, Papa gotta go. I'm tired. And she said, you're not going. So I moved her and she threw herself on the floor.
Oh, like,
no, Papa. So it was like, if you step over me, no, Papa. Yeah. And I stepped over her and she was like, Papa. Like, geez, girl, this is drama.
Get that girl into an acting class ASAP.
I'm like, my God.
It's super dramatic.
And you don't know, I set up her Echo first. And then it takes longer to set up the TV because you got to add the apps and all the usernames and passwords and everything. So while I was setting up the TV, I had to listen to
the
Chicken Nugget Dreamland.
Oh Lord!
For like 10 times. I don't know, maybe more. One of these days I'm gonna play it just so I'm not the only one who has to suffer it. Because
it's all right to suffer by your damn self. I'm just here to tell you.
Chicken Nugget. I'm like, what is it with kids that they like the weirdest songs? And when I left, I told my daughter, I honestly I don't remember you being. Don't remember.
Ask your wife.
Yeah, she's like,
Ask Carrie.
my daughter's like, no, I wasn't this loud. I read a lot. She said Bella and Daisy are very, at a high level now. It's like, yeah, they are. Because Bella was like that, there too. And Bella started telling Echo um to play different burp sounds. So
Oh,
now,
you
so
can, you
now
can do
Echo is
that?
Echo is belching though. In Bella's room, you hear Echo farting and belching, and and in Daisy's room is playing Chicken Nugget Playland, whatever it is.
Listen, aren't you glad you don't live there?
Oh my god, I was so exhausted when
You're like, I can't get out here fast enough.
I was so exhausted. And Daisy's like, Papa, I go to your house this weekend. No.
No,
Sorry.
not with that chicken nugget dance.
No, I need a break. I had them this past weekend, and then I've been in their house twice already this week. No, thank you. I need a break.
That is too funny. That is way too funny.
Yeah,
that is too funny.
Yeah, and then my son-in-law was installing cameras all over the place like me, and I bought them.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, he already had 4 cameras. I bought them another set of 4.
Oh my God.
So he's gonna have cameras everywhere. Even worse than me. He's gonna have
cameras.
That's good.
Cameras are the new dogs.
I mean, right? It's better. I mean, it's better that they're able to watch every corner of the house with the girls. Now they have a sliding back door with a huge backyard that they haven't fenced in yet. They're planning on fencing it in.
Okay.
So right now, I prefer that they're under the microscope. Girls are very active, and then their dog, they got a Wakanda.
They got a dog.
Yeah, Wakanda the pit bull.
Is he black?
Golden, but the girls named them Wakanda because
of course they did, because
Black Panther.
Those girls are. I know what it is. I know what it means. So, those girls are on point.
Yeah. So yeah, so Wakanda's. I don't like animals, but for some reason, animals like me.
I'm the same, Harry. I don't like animals either, but they like me.
Yeah.
And the more I ignore them, the more they're up on me. I was like dogs or cats, any of this.
See, the cats I can't do. Cats I refuse, unless I have a mouse problem. You're welcome in. Other than that, I'll do the dogs. I just can't maintain. I can't have a dog and have to walk it and stuff like that, or the dog loses his mind and decides he's peeing in my living room and stuff.
Well, if you want to go somewhere,
yeah, can't do that.
You can't take them, or you got to find some place to house them. Oh no.
Yeah, right. And the last 2 times they've gone on vacation, they're like, "Can you take care of the dog?" No, I ain't taking care of your dog. You better find a friend to take care of your dog. And now that I've been there a few times and the dog loves me and I fed the dog, Bella goes, "Papa, now I could bring Wakanda with me when I stay over." No, you cannot. Ooh. No dogs allowed in my house.
Sorry, not sorry.
No dogs allowed.
Poor girls. You won't let me bring my dog. Stay home, girl. I tell you what, I'll come by to see you when I see you.
Yeah, they're really happy with their rooms.
I know they are. Do they stay in their own rooms, or do they find themselves still? Because they didn't have their own rooms before.
Yeah, they shared a room.
Although girls sharing a room is a better deal than them separate because they'll keep tabs. The mother can find out more information.
One will keep tabs on the other.
Yeah, they both will do it, and she have a better time of staying on top of what they're doing.
Well, they're right across from each other, but no, they're happy to be separated because Bella's 5 years ahead of Daisy, so she had to suffer watching all the Disney stuff that she's already grown out of. She had to suffer everything for Daisy. So now that they have their own rooms, their own TVs and everything, they're happy.
That is too funny.
And Daisy's like the weirdest child. Like, so Daisy's favorite movie is Chucky.
I know.
Right? So, and she actually has a Chucky doll that she walks around with. Weird. So yesterday, as soon as I fixed the TV and I told her, okay, Daisy, I put Disney Plus on. What you want to see? And she goes,
Chucky.
Papa, no, she told me, I want to see Annabelle. Huh?
Annabelle.
A possessed doll.
Oh.
I'm like, Daisy.
Y'all might have to watch her a little bit.
I'm like,
closer.
Papa's not putting Annabelle. You better figure out. You better figure out something else on the Disney Channel.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I know she was saying it with all sincerity, too.
Well, and she laughs because she goes, I want to put Annabelle because Bella's scared of it. So she wants to put it so that Bella hears it. Because Bella doesn't like scary movies.
God.
And that's the younger sister, 5 years younger.
Y'all, Harry, I'm gonna charge you. Keep a close eye on that one.
My God!
Keep a credit card clear, so if you have to bail her out of jail or get her out of the country, you can do it. That one right there is gonna run you. She's gonna run you.
Yeah. She's like, put it on because I want Bella to hear it.
Oh, she's gonna run you, Harry. I'm just telling you. You better have some bail money for that one.
No, yeah, Daisy's different. She goes to sleep hugging a Chucky doll. Okay.
Yeah.
Bella doesn't want to see anything scary before going to sleep because she'll stay awake. Okay, so yeah, that Daisy's definitely.
Yeah, your girl is work. Is work. All right. Well, it's time for us to go, but we're back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I have a new car. Get up on the highway, looking for adventure. Whatever comes my way.
What's your car's name again?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Wow.
Like,
this is red, Harry, and we would have just been too cliched.
Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, this is Babz Rawls-ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.